I get my wisdom from? One day, a Jamaican guy shop and say, "Sir, I don't have no wisdom in there." No, seriously. Um, what I could tell you is that different people come into this life with one aspect of it is come into this life with a kind of sensitivity. Many of us set up that thing and what? I don't have a setup. I don't have a what you call it, like a. Hold on, let me go try something. Hold on there. I'm not gonna edit nothing, you know. I just saw it go. You never open going to go get. Now open up my window. I don't know about the lighting here. I'm gonna know this, sure. Come here, get fat. That's her. What I could tell you is that different people come into this life with a kind of a sensitivity to receive wisdom, to receive knowledge. Now, when when we're being born, we are pre-birth. We're choosing what we want for this life, so we might choose to have a more sensitive body to receive certain kind of knowledge based on um, to be a match to the purpose that we're coming with. So if let's say we come into this life to teach about racism, um, you're gonna choose a certain, maybe you choose to be black, you choose to born in a certain black country, or born in America, dealing with America's racism. Um, and you're gonna choose a body that is so sensitive to receive knowledge. But even before that, some of us are older souls. Like some of us are older souls. We we incarnated into many different lifetimes. We've had many incarnations and many different lifetimes. So we've learned a lot of lessons and a lot of stuff based on life, living those lifetimes. And so what those everything is energy, and everything is a energy body. It takes on an energy pattern, or there's so much to go into explaining these things, how these things work, but I don't want to do too much of that. And so that gets added to your soul's matrix. Your soul, the embodiment of who your soul's energy, is this open field of information. And then whoever you were in the past life and whatever you learned and all this other stuff is stored in your soul's matrix. So some of us, we've lived so many past lives, and on different planets and different star systems, and also on Earth, and then we came in with a lot of knowledge. And some of us come from uh, star systems, and I don't know what to call them, planets that are planet systems, star system that is have a lot of beings that either have that kind of a old soul energy, um, and or same similar intentions, and so we are coming from this high dimensional realm that exists because um, we and our worlds have transcended, let's say that, the some primitive kind of a life existence, much like what we have down here now. So Earth and this star system will one day, or sometimes in some timeline, will be um, on a higher plane. Okay, because Earth and everything in the universe in general is always ever on this trajectory towards an expanded, more, let's say, evolutionary advancement type thing collectively. And so every star system, let's say, have their stages. So um, some of us is incarnated as that with a lot of knowledge, and or with we chose sensitive bodies to be able to receive knowledge, and then we come down in this life, and usually people like us, because we're so sensitive, and or we just chose um, extreme trauma. We chose a life that is going to be trauma filled, because we know that it's going to be the catalyst for what is going to like send us into the direction of finding the opposite of of the life that came from that trauma. And so um, in doing so, sometimes we end up finding a better life. And because we've been through hell and been through and all these other aspects that make us what we are, we end up with a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom. Um, so that's what I would have to say as to why at my age. And listen, I I am not at the apex, at the pinnacle of knowledge. My strongest knowledge level, or when I was receiving the most knowledge, was in my late 20s. I fell off my game. So, that part. Um, I'm trying to find whatever questions I get from people about who I am and what I am and what I do. The thing about the credentials and all that stuff, I would have to ask people. Um, I would have to ask them, how did the people with credentials get their credentials? Where did they get the knowledge from? Well, they went to school and they got it from a textbook, and they read a textbook, and they passed the test, and they passed the exam, and they da 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 da. But before that, in the initial stages of, let's say, is it the Industrial Revolution? When was the revolution for education and schools and that kind of stuff? And what do you call that? I'm not the biggest historian, so I'm good at a lot of things. I'm not good at history. Um, and I don't know that I want to be good at history because I don't know what that would be like. So that's another topic. I tell people all the time that I don't fuck with history. I don't know if I told people all the time, or I just know that I will tell people that. I don't fuck with history because history is very much. It almost like it doesn't exist or it didn't exist. When you talk about history, you could talk about what actually happened in history, if you know what that is. But that brings up my next point. We don't know what actually happened in history. Other than actual truth that we know for sure did happen, we don't know what actually happened in history. Okay, history, because human beings are so because human beings are so like they're beings who have to look good. They're beings that have to be right. They have to be good. They have to look good. And because we're so identified with our bodies, with who we are, with who we are in our family, with who we are in our community, with who we are in our race that we belong to, we're gonna say and do anything to make ourselves look good. So when we talk about a system, an idea, such as history, that there's no way to corroborate, there's no way to fully confirm with facts of what exactly happened. You better believe that beings like human beings who are so deeply identified and is so and need so much to be good and to be right and to be uh, strong, they're gonna take advantage of that. Okay, they're going to go out of their way to make sure they say and or do everything in history to alter history in their favor. Because now they have to look good. Now their community has to look good. Their culture has to look good. Their country has to look good. Look right, look strong. Their race have to look good. Okay? And even who they are on the planet collectively has to look good in relation to maybe there's aliens out there. So, I don't fuck with history. I digress. Yeah, so when we talk about knowledge, let's say having a credential in, let's say, in the field of psychology, the people who have credentials, they didn't get it from um, the textbook because the textbook got it from another textbook. That information in the textbook came from somewhere. It came from somewhere in the textbook. The first set of textbooks and the first set of colleges exist because um, somebody put that knowledge in there. And if that somebody and those somebodies had to put knowledge inside of something that didn't have knowledge, it only means that those people didn't have credentials. They didn't have degrees um, because there was no school for them to get it from. Or that only can only tell us that credentials and having and schools and that kind of stuff get knowledge from people. It came from somebody who did not have degrees. That only means that there's people like me that are born in this world with a natural ability to understand human behavior and understand life in general and put it in textbook and give it to people to teach to other people. Not all of us need credentials, okay? And don't tell me that I need it because I don't have it, and the people who don't have it need to have it because they don't have it, bitch. They can. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but for the most part, they're gonna be teaching me shit I already know. Do you teach a bird how to fly? If I have that shit naturally, why do I need to learn it again from you? Do you teach a fish to swim? No, I have the shit. I don't need your credentials, and I don't need I don't need some paper on the wall with my name on it that somebody signed from a school to validate what I have. Okay? Because the people who the knowledge that, let's say in psychology, you might hear them say, they come out saying studies have shown that this and studies have shown that's telling us it has shown that there is some new knowledge. If it's new knowledge, it didn't come from what you learned in school. What you know, what gave you your degree and your credential is what you learned in school. The stuff that is being discovered now did not come from you or come from the school. Because if that was the case, you would have learned everything. You cannot learn everything. The book starts here and the book ends here. There's only this amount of knowledge in the book. So obviously the new knowledge and the new discovery and the studies have shown is not coming from the book. It's not coming from your school. It's coming from minds that naturally understand shit. Okay? It's coming from somebody who has this knowledge naturally. I digress in my mind. Um, yeah, that's it for today.